Happy Monday. I just can't believe how freaking beautiful outside it is today. So, hopefully, we all have time to get outside. There's birds chirping outside my window. So, if you hear a little bit of that, like, how amazing is that? Our flow today, props are totally up to you if you have blocks or block substitutes. Cans of beans are always really good, or if you have like a kitchen counter you want to hold on to, fabulous. I always love to offer for Shavasana that we slide something underneath our head. I just feel like it gets cozier, plus a blanket or two if you'd like. So please feel free to grab all of those things, and I will meet you down on our mats. Finding a comfortable, let's come to seat. Let's come to a seat to start. So if you'd like to take a block and just pop it underneath you, or you can sit up cross-legged on something if you'd like to, whatever's going to be most of service to you. Before we lay down on our backs, before we do any of that, and just taking a second to get grounded, to collect ourselves in the space, and find our breath. Our theme that I would like to roll with today, it might change halfway through, but what I'm expecting our theme to be today is around our hips and our pelvis. So I thought it would be maybe nice to start with a breath that helps us get rooted a little bit more. It's nothing terribly intense at all. It's really just a bit more of a guided, intentional breath. So if you'd like to place one hand on your belly and one hand sort of low, like where your hip bones maybe sit, kind of in there just below your belly button. So one hand around your belly and one hand just below. And you're welcome to close your eyes if you would like to. And not forcing anything to happen, not trying to make anything happen. But as you breathe in and as you breathe out, just noticing how that breath travels in your body. Noticing as you inhale, if there's an inflation through your midsection. And as you exhale, if it softens out. Hello, hello. Inhaling to maybe feel that bit of an inflation. And exhaling it out. And so if you're feeling an inflation there, amazing, keep that going. If you're not, and if it's still quite tight, maybe starting to ask your breath to do a little bit of work here. As you inhale, see if you can actively allow that belly space to expand. And as we exhale, and so normal to yawn as you're doing this, we're sending oxygen through our body, yeah? So please feel free to free the yawn. My teacher is really about that, about freeing that space. So please feel free to do that too. And so as we're taking these few moments to feel the breath a little lower down today, not as much up into our chest, we're starting a little lower down. Can you imagine your pelvic bowl? So hip bone to hip bone, and then down towards pubic symphysis, and then up the other side. That's your pelvic bowl shape, the bones of it. And then we have all of these tissues layered throughout. So it kind of sits like a hammocky pancake. And so as you inhale, can you inhale down into that space? And as you exhale, can you collect anything there that's not serving you and it out? And not serving you could be a thought that came up. It could be a sensation that came up. It could be an idea that is just like keeping you not rooted. And breathing it out. Inhaling down and into this bowl shape. And then exhaling to let that heaviness be rooted. Be down. Yeah, and our theme today is more hips, mobility, moving, strength, all of that good stuff. So we want our breath to be there with us. Taking 2 more rounds of these here. Inhaling. You could also, there's that yawn again, be lying down if you'd like to. If sitting up like this is just not working for you. Exhaling it out. Let your hands come down to your lap or down to the floor if you're lying down. And just taking a moment to let that juju, that residual energy of that breath still be circulating through our body, even though it's rooted down. We're going to keep our hands on our thighs. If you decided to lay on your back, now is a good time to make your way up. I'm turning sideways so you can see me. We're going to do a kneeling cat-cow here, or a seated kneeling cat-cow. So as you inhale, can you use your hands as leverage to lengthen your chest up through your hands? So you get to take a bit of an opener here. And then still using your hands for leverage as you exhale, nod your chin, round your spine. And if your arms reach your knees, you can always hold on. I have little arms, so they don't they don't quite reach. Inhale to push into your thighs to lengthen yourself up. Exhale to nod and round. Starting to feel maybe some sensation through the front of the body as we inhale, as we open. And then as we exhale, really scoop. You can fire your glutes here as you round up and over. So we're like elongating our flesh suit, which is kind of a gross way to describe our human body, but I also kind of like it, a flesh suit. Exhale down. Kind of feels like we can jazz it up as much as we want to. One more time, inhale to lengthen up in our kneeling seated version of a cat-cow here. And then exhale to round. Bring yourself all the way up, just a very, very gentle bit of a twist here, just to get that going in our body. So we're going to take our left hand over towards our right knee. Back right hand can just sort of hang out wherever it is, just very, very gentle. You could also put that hand on your hip, even on your chest if you would like to. And we're going to inhale to get up nice and tall. And then exhale from that low belly, twist ourselves up around our spine, sort of like a merry-go-round pole. And then our body is turning around that merry-go-round pole. Can you inhale to release that twist just a little bit? And then from that low belly, exhale to increase back. Maybe you go the same amount or maybe you go further. So your hand could be at your chest. It could be behind your head if you wanted to, on your hip, down below, whatever's going to feel good. I actually kind of like it behind my head. One more time, inhale to come out of that little twist. And then exhale around your belly to twist a little bit more. Can you keep that twist? And can you just sort of duck down and add a little circle in that twist? So good. And then release your backhand, release your spine back to center. Give yourself a little zhuzh. Let's go the other way. So this time your right hand scoots across towards your left thigh. Your opposite hand can come up to your hip, to your chest, behind your head, whatever feels good. Inhaling to sit up nice and tall. And then around from that belly, we twist to the left this time. Inhaling to bring yourself back just a little bit towards center. So we release just a smidgen. And then exhale to spiral around. Inhale to release just a little bit. Exhaling to spiral. One more time, inhale, release just a little bit. Exhale to spiral it around. Now keep your spiral to the left. And can you start to, however you want to get there, just add a little upper body circle there. And then release your backhand, bring yourself to center. Inhale, let's reach those arms up. Through your mouth, side out. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Exhale. Make noise one more time. Inhale it up. Exhale. Make noise. Let's scoot ourselves forward. You can come on to hands and knees. Let's add a little bit of that cat-cow here. So taking what we learned while we were kneeling and adding that mobilizing here. So inhale to lengthen out through your tail as you open up through your chest. And then exhale, use your glutes to scoop and round. And we're really trying to see if we can move one vertebrae at a time here. Inhaling to lengthen it out. So in my practice that I like to offer myself, keep going with these breaths. I'm just going to give you a little story time as we're here. In my practice for myself and also for when I'm teaching, I don't like to sit in stretches too long. And if you've been taking class with me, you might have noticed that the only real stretchy shape that we keep is downward dog. And even then we're not there for like 8 to 10 breaths. It's maybe maximum 7. And the reason for that is that I just believe if we're looking to find mobility in our bodies, we need to find mobility that also comes with a bit of strength. If we just sit in our tissues and pull on them, can you imagine it's like if you just pulled an elastic band and then you were expecting it to stay there? It doesn't, right? It rebounds. Whereas if we take our time and sort of inch and inch and inch and inch and inch, we're going to be a little bit more productive with what we want to achieve. So that being said, our theme today being hip openers, we're not going to be sitting in a pigeon for like a minute and a half. And if you love pigeon pose, that might be a bit sad to hear. And if you hate pigeon pose, you might love that. but we are still going to access those muscles just in a different way. One more time, inhale to lengthen it out. As we exhale, can you scoop and round that spine? Keep using your glutes. Take your bum back and pass through a child's pose. And then lift your hips up and back. Keep a bent knee, downward dog here. Taking a few breaths to paddle out through those feet. Paddle out, pedal out. All the blood rushed to my head when I got to that vowel. Pedal out through those feet. Give your hips a little zhuzh side to side. If you need to do a little anchoring, you can. I put this yellow mat on top of my black one so that like it looks a little cheerier and you can see me better, but it's quite slippery. And I'm warm today, so if I start sliding all over the place, you'll know why. Let's find a minute of stillness. Can we inhale, bend our knees nice and deep? And then exhale to lengthen our legs just as much as makes sense for our body. 2 more like that. Inhale to bend, so we find a bit of space. And then as we exhale, we lengthen it out, but we're not going to indulge. One more time. Inhale to bend. Exhale to lengthen it up, and then we're going to do kind of like a wonky walk. So bend in through your knees, lift your right leg up, circle that hip, and then place your foot down just a little bit in front of your back foot. Second leg reaches up, give it a little circle of that hip. Maybe there's a little crack, and then it comes down just a little inch forward of the back foot. And so we're going to do this little hip walkie. And as you come further forward, more and more weight is going to come onto your hands, and that's okay. Just sort of warming up through those wrists. And now your range might be maybe 2 steps forward. Your main range might be walking all the way forward. So getting to a space that makes sense in your body, and then when you've reached capacity, just sort of wiggle your way up to the front of your mat. Still keeping that gentle bend in your knees. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it down. Push your feet through the floor. Let's roll ourselves up, and can we stack ourselves up taller than we started? Sweeping those arms up overhead. And then bringing your hands down through heart center, take a pause. Can we bring our hands back to that pelvic breath that we started with? So taking that inhale to feel the breath expanding through our belly and through our pelvis. And exhale, we're rooted. Now, we're not going to let our belly hang, obviously, the whole time. We're still keeping a bit of connection here, but we're letting our breath be deep. It's like a rooted, grooty type breath. Feet are planted on the floor right underneath us, still zipping up through our thighs, our glutes, tall through our spines. Inhale, let's reach our arms up towards the ceiling. You can invite a little bit of an upper body back bend here if you'd like. Exhale to dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. Can you exhale, lower down, step your right leg back, lower your right knee down. We're going to inhale to sweep those arms up. Now, again, I'm not just sitting out in this stretch. I'm up a little bit and I'm hugging in. We're not going to indulge here for too long. As we exhale, can we plant our hands down? You're going to step back into a plank. First plank of the day with me. Maybe you're on your knees if that feels better. Little bits of housekeeping on our first one, and then we'll just add them in every time. Pushing the floor away, opening those arms away from each other. Hug the heels of your hands down to meet your toes and lengthen out through the body. Glutes are on. Take an inhale, maybe drop down to your knees. Exhale to lower down, and as you lower, you flip to the pedicure side of your toes. Inhale, little baby cobra to start, just that little bit of an upper body back bend. And then however you'd like to get there, let's slide back into your downward dog. We're just going to take 3 breaths here, inhaling in through your nose, exhaling out through your mouth. Inhaling in through your nose, sigh it out through your mouth. One more time, inhale it in, exhale it out. You're going to inhale, reach that right leg up towards the ceiling, but we're not going to indulge. We're going to pull the right leg so that the right foot steps forward between the hands. Lower your left knee down now. Squeeze those legs together. Sweep the arms up. Now, we're not here for too terribly long. We're just enjoying a little bit of a lengthened up moment. And then we lower those hands down to frame our foot. You're going to step your back foot forward. Ching! Don't worry if this is moving a little bit quickly. We're going to do it again. You're back in your standing forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it forward. Push your 3 feet through the floor. Roll yourself all the way up. Reach those arms up overhead. And then we're going to make our way back down again. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, melt forward, and then this time your left leg steps back, drop down to your back left knee. Hug those legs in as you inhale, sweep yourself up. Maybe you keep hands to thighs or hands to blocks, or maybe you enjoy a bit of a back bend. And then we lower those hands back down to frame your foot. Lift your back thigh up if you can. Slide your legs back, find your plank. Let's take 2 breaths here, wherever you are. Inhale through your nose. Can you exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle? And as you do that, can you feel your pelvic floor drawing up towards your belly button? Inhale in. Keep pushing that floor away. Exhale it out. Inhale to drop down to your knees. Keep opening your collarbones as you draw your chest forward in space. Baby cobra here, or a full up dog if that's in your practice. And then exhale, slide back, downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhale in. Exhale it out. Enjoying maybe a bent knee if that gives you more freedom through your pelvis, through your hips. Breathing in. Exhaling it out. Maybe adding in an ujjayi breath here, which is your constricted throat breath. Exhaling it out. As you inhale, your left leg reach up to the ceiling. We don't indulge. We pull the left leg forward. Plant the left foot down in between our hands. Lower your back right knee this time. Inhale, sweep those arms up if that serves you. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Back foot comes forward to meet the front. We're in our forward fold again. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it down. Push your feet through the floor. Inhale, sweep those arms up all the way. We're going again. Exhale to melt it down. Inhale, lengthen up, half forward fold. Lower down, your right leg steps back, right knee finds the floor. Inhale to sweep those arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down, step back to your version of a plank. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, your version of a chaturanga, that might also be knees, chest, chin, if that's in your practice. Inhale, baby cobra or full up dog. Exhale, slide back, downward dog. 3 breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you're in your downward dog, knowing that our goal here is to open through the back of the pelvis, to keep stability through the arms, to draw those ribs in, and eventually maybe work to a straight leg, but we don't have to be there right away. On your next inhale, sweep that right leg up in space. Breathe it out, pull the right leg forward, plant the right foot between your hands, back left knee finds the floor. Inhale to sweep those arms up. Remember, we don't indulge here. We bring those hands down to frame the front foot. Back foot comes forward, so we're in our forward fold again. Inhale to come up halfway. Hands can come to your thighs. They can come to your shins. Exhale to melt it down. Push your feet through the floor as you inhale. Sweep your body up. We right away go back down. It's like a wave, right? We're flowing. Inhale to come up halfway. As we breathe out, this time our left leg goes back in space. Drop that back left knee. Inhale to find that little bit of a lift of the body if you choose. Exhale to lower down. Plant your hands, step back, find your plank. 2 breaths here. Inhaling in through your nose. Exhaling, you can do mouth if you'd like to still, or your nose if you're preferring your ujjayi. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale to drop to those knees if you wish. As you exhale, lower yourself down nice and slow. Inhale, baby cobra or your full up dog. And then exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhale in. Exhale it out. It's important to me that before we move into anything that's a little deeper in the body, we get a bit of heat moving. So we're not cold stretching, yeah? Inhaling in. And it's like, whoo, fun. We're doing yoga. When you're ready, inhale, that left leg sweeps up again. Don't indulge though. Exhale, pull the left leg forward, plant the left foot between your hands. Back knee finds the floor, hug your legs in as you inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale to lower, plant your hands in by your front foot. Back foot comes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to melt it down. Push your feet through the floor. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands down through your heart center. Taking a moment, Tadasana. I'm going to grab some water. You can grab some too. Take a big breath in. And when you're ready, exhale it out. Feeling that prana, that energy moving through our body and harnessing it as we move. Feeling your feet planted on the floor here. Again, that rooted breath that's keeping us in our practice. Let's find a round of breath together here. Hands can be down beside your hips. Take your inhale in through the nose. Let's let this one go. Inhaling in through your nose. Maybe this time you exhale through your nose. And as you exhale through your nose, it's almost like you're trying to blow out a milkshake through your nose with your mouth closed. And we're constricting through our throat a little bit, or like you're trying to go ha, but through your nose. Yeah. On your next inhale, let's sweep those arms up overhead, maybe take a bit of a back bend. As we exhale, we're going to melt down to the floor into your version of a forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. As we exhale, let's lower down, and can you step your left leg back this time, which I know is different than the order we were in before. You're going to lower down to that back left knee, and we're going to pause here. Let's squeeze those legs in together, and let's bring ourselves up to our thigh, or if you have blocks, you can bring yourself open here, yeah? I'd like you to take a second to really hug those legs in. And as you hug your legs in, you should almost feel like you're growing taller, right? Like if we were to hang out, we'd be going down to the floor. If we engage, we kind of like hover up a little bit. We bubble up a little bit. This back left bum cheek is on. It's like squeezing, squeezing. Let's enjoy a little bit of a twist here. So we're going to scoot our hands like we did when we were on the floor so that your left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. Your right hand can come to your chest. It can come behind your head. It can come to your hip. And you're just going to add a little twisty here. You could also open that arm if you want to. Inhale to come out of it just a little, but remember all of this stuff is still happening underneath you. And then exhale to add that bit of a twist. Inhale to take it out just a smidgen. Exhale to twist. One more time, inhale to release just a little. Exhale to twist. Keep your twist. Can you start just a little circle of that upper body? And you can interpret that as you wish. I'm being vague on purpose. And then bring yourself all the way back to center. We're going to bring ourselves down here. So your right hand comes to the inside of your right foot. You're going to walk that right foot. And here, I'm going to spin so I'm kind of facing you a little bit more. You're going to walk that right foot wide of your mat and then turn your right toes out. But can you do that without losing the hug in? You're still squeezing your legs in. Hug them in, and then peel up into your pinky toe side of your foot. So your big toe and at least your second toe is coming with you here. But again, we're not sinking, we're hugging in. You're going to squeeze the leg in towards each other. In this externally rotated position, you're going to squeeze and hold it for 3. Squeeze and hold for 2. Squeeze and hold for 1. Gently put the foot back down. Take a little break. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. When you're ready, you turn the thigh out. So it's externally rotated. Peel up off of your big toe. So your pinky toe is rooted down. Squeeze the front leg in and try to open it, and then hold that rotation and tension for 3. Hold it for 2. Hold it for 1. Place the foot back down. We have 2 more of these. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, toes are turned out, roll onto the outside edge. Maybe you have more space to rotate. Hug those legs in and squeeze them for all your might, like maximum tension, hugging those legs in, opening through that thigh for 3, squeezing it for 2, squeezing it for 1, plant the foot back down, take a little break. And then we have one more time. Roll up to the pinky toe edge side of your foot, your thighs opening out, squeeze those legs in. You could totally be up on blocks here or soup cans or whatever, and hug in for 3, like so serious. You're trying to hug in and open and lift for 2, for 1, bring it back in. Walk that foot so it comes back towards the center. So now you have one hand on either side of the foot, yeah? Plant your left hand down. Right hand comes to the chest. We spiral. We open up. Take a little bit of a reach here. And then plant that right hand back down outside of the left. Lift your back thigh. We're sliding back into our plank. Just notice how your right hip feels now compared to your left. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, option to flow, option to child's pose, option to make your way straight to a downward dog. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. Take a breath in. Bending through those knees, take a breath out. This time, can you reach your left leg up in space? Pull your left leg forward, plant your left foot down, back knee finds the floor. Squeeze those legs in towards each other, and then bring your hands up. So again, we're making sure we're not sitting in space. We're turning on those muscles, waking up around our pelvis. Starting with that little bit of a twist, this time your right hand can come to the outside of the left thigh, left hand can come to your hip, to your chest, behind your head. It could go long, but you're gonna inhale to be up tall and then keep the tension underneath you. Your upper body's rotating. Inhale to release that just a little bit. And then exhale, keep twisting. And remember, underneath you is still so active. Inhale to release a little bit. Exhale to twist around. One more time. Inhale, release just a little. Exhale to twist. Now, can you keep your twist of your upper body? Keep your legs hugging in, and then just add a little upper body thoracic circle there. Nice job. Bring yourself back to center and plant your hands down. Your left hand this time comes to the inside of the left foot. Walk that left foot so it's just along the side edge of your mat. So I'm still hugging my legs in. Yeah, that tension hasn't gone. Turn your toes out so they're facing about 10 o'clock and then roll up onto that pinky toe edge side of your foot. So if you were to hang out here, this would be like a pretty low to the ground, not much happening. But we're not doing that. We're hugging in. You've rolled to the pinky toe edge side of your foot. You're trying to rotate your thigh and squeeze your legs in. And you're holding that for 3, holding the tension for 2, holding the tension for 1. Pop your foot back down. Take a quick little break. When you're ready, toes to 10 o'clock. Roll up to the pinky toe edge side of your foot. Turn the thigh out and squeeze it in. And your back leg is still on, right? That back bum. And we're trying to rotate and hug in for 3, holding that tension for 2, holding that tension for 1. Drop the foot, take a quick little break. We have 2 more here. When you're ready, roll up to the pinky toe edge. Turn that foot on, back glute on. Thighs are rotating. Maybe you have a little more range, squeezing in. It's like there's like a little hot coal plate underneath us and we don't want to sit into it. Keep squeezing for 2. Keep squeezing for 1. Plant your foot back down. One more time, roll up to that pinky toe edge side of your foot. We're trying to keep our knee in line with our toes. Squeeze it in and keep rotating for 3. If I had like marked on a wall where I started even 4 of these ago and where I am now, so different. 2, 1, plant that foot back in, walk that foot back to center. Plant your right hand on the floor. Left hand can come to your chest. Just adding a little bit of a twist here, taking a breath in. As we breathe out, plant the hand down so that we are ready to go as we slide back into our plank. Option to flow, child's pose, or downward dog. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop to your knees, pull your chest forward. Inhale, baby cobra or your full up dog, and then exhale, downward dog. 3 breaths. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe it out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out, maybe adding your ujjayi here. One more time, breathing in. We're going to add a little ripply plank situation. So can you take a breath in? And as you breathe out, you're going to sort of lift your heels and pike your hips. Keep your heels radiating back even though they're lifted. And it's like you're doing that really lovely ripple like you do when you do cat-cow, but you find a plank. Let's take a breath in here. Let's take a breath out. And then as we inhale, can we tuck our chin into our chest and reverse engineer this so we ripple all the way back? Eventually, we're going to do this on 2 counts. So it'll look like exhaling forward into our plank, inhaling to take it back. Exhaling using your glutes. Ripple forward into your plank, inhaling, tucking your chin. But like really super indulge this. Like use your glutes, use your thighs. Turn on every single muscle of your body here to make this happen. One more time. Bringing it forward. Nodding your chin, curling yourself back. Take a breath in through your nose. Downward dog. Exhale out through your mouth, side out. Inhale to lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, many walks or hops or one big hop up to meet your hands. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale it down. We're going to add something to this little series. Inhale, sweep yourself all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down beside you, but we're not going to stay long. Inhale, can you sit back into a chair and then freeze? So your hands can come up overhead. They could come to your heart. They could come to your hips. But what I want you to notice is that we're not taking our weight so far back that our toes lift. I want you to keep your toes rooted down. And can you push through your full foot? Feel that all the way up the backs and sides into your bum. We're going to stay here, breathe in. And as you breathe out, use what you used from your plank here so that we keep that plank torso strong. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, fold forward over those legs. Inhale to come up halfway. As we exhale, we lower down, we step back with the right foot. Now, back knee can find the floor, or you can turn the back foot out and find yourself in a warrior one. Take your breath in. We're not indulging. As we exhale, we lower down, flip those back toes so you can slide into a plank. 2 breaths here, please. Inhaling in, exhaling it out. Inhale to grow nice and long. As you breathe out, drop to your knees if that serves you. Lowering down, inhale your version of an upper body extension. Exhale, downward dog, 3 breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, however serves you. And your downward dog could be a child's pose. You could be moving. You could be in tabletop. Yeah, it doesn't have to look like this. On your next inhale, can you sweep the right leg up? As you exhale, pull the right foot forward, plant the right foot down on the floor. We're going to drop to that back left knee. Walk that right foot out so it finds the edge of your mat. Turn those right toes out to 2 o'clock. Roll up on that pinky edge side of your foot and squeeze the legs in as you rotate, and hold that rotation for 5. Hold the tension for 4. If you'd like to add a twist here, 3, you can, but it's all about the legs. For 2, for 1, roll your foot back so that it's flat. Walk that foot back into center. Inhale, let's sweep those arms up. And then exhale, frame your foot with your hands, lift your back thigh, step forward. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it down. Walk those feet together, bend your knees to find your chair as you bring yourself all the way back up. Let's take 2 breaths here, breathing in and breathing out. And again, don't worry if we get lost along the way, right? All of our breath patterns are different. I want to make sure that I'm at least moving at a pace where you're not hanging out anywhere for too long. Take one more breath in. As you breathe up, stand nice and tall. Let those arms come down right away. Inhale, bend your knees, find that chair again. Let's stay here. Let's breathe out. Keep pushing into your full foot. Fire up through your glutes, fire up through your belly. This is so fiery and exciting here. One more time, breathe in. As we breathe out, melt forward over those legs to find your forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway lift. Exhale to lower down. This time your right leg steps back. Now maybe you come to that knee, or you pull the leg in, turn it out a little bit to find your warrior one. Taking an inhale just to be here. And then exhale, lower down, step back and find your version of a plank. Now again, you could be child's pose, you could be downward dog, you could do whatever feels good for you. One more breath in here, please. One more breath out. Inhaling to get long, maybe drop to your knees as you exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, baby cobra or your full up dog, and then exhale, slide back, downward dog. 3 breaths, breathing in through the nose, sighing it out, however feels good for you. I always like to do my first one through my mouth because it helps me connect into my rib cage a little more. But as we're here, remember our pelvic breath, yeah? We're still opening through the back of the pelvis. On your next inhale, that left leg sweeps up in space. As you breathe out, pull the left leg in, plant the left foot between the hands, drop your back right knee. Walk that left foot out so it finds the edge of your mat. Turn your left toes out to 10 o'clock. Roll up to pinky toe edge side of your foot. Squeeze the legs in. And as you're squeezing the legs in, you're rotating the thigh and you're holding that tension for 5. Maybe you add a twist if you'd like to for 4. It looks kind of funky for 3, but it's so energized here. For 2, last 1, plant the hands, bring the foot all the way back. Maybe inhale to sweep yourself up overhead. And then exhale, plant your hands, energize back leg, step forward. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt forward fold. Walk those feet together if they lost each other. Bend into your knees. Keep your knees bent as you sweep up into your chair. 3 breaths here. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. One more time, breathe in. As you breathe up, stand up nice and tall, sweeping those arms out. Let's take a little shoulder roll. Let's take a breath. Inhale here together. Side out through your mouth. Feeling the weight of your body down into your feet, down through your pelvis, and that rootedness lets us feel tall. Inhale here, please. Exhale out. On your next inhale, plant your feet, bend your knees, reach yourself up into that chair. We're not indulging here. As we exhale, we're folding right away down into that forward fold. We're going to inhale to come up halfway. And as we exhale, lower down, step back with your right foot again, but stay up on that high top toe if you'd like to. Of course, if you like a series we've done before, stick with that. Hug your left foot forward, hug your right hip. Hang on, is that right? Yeah. Left hip forward, right hip back. And then sweep up. You're in a high lunge. Let's take a second to just really open up here. You could maybe interlace your fingers and lift yourself up if you'd like. And then can you open yourself up? Turn those back toes. You're in your warrior two. Take a second to breathe in here, please. Take a second to breathe out. Feeling rooted in that front knee. So little bits of housekeeping, knee over the ankle if you can. We're going to feel like we're tucking this whole thigh into the back pocket, which is the same feeling we just had as we were opening up in that sort of lizardy type pose, yeah? Back leg is nice and straight. We're here. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Hugging those legs in, staying so energized as we pause for a hot second in our warrior. We're going to keep reaching in this warrior. Keep your knees bent. Can you bring left forearm to meet left thigh? Circle your right arm and find an opening here. We're turning and rotating that top shoulder up, energizing out through the top arm, and we're one long line through our waist. Still hugging those legs in. Take a breath in here, and take a breath out to be here. Keep turning on those thighs. Keep firing through your glutes. Take your breath in. And then like there's a rope, this arm is going to pull you all the way up. Can we straighten through our legs? So keep your quads turned on here. Slide your back hip back, but keep your ribs drawing in. And we're not going to take too long in our triangle. I'm pulling a block in if you'd like to as well, just for somewhere for my hand to reach. Arm reaches up, take a breath in. Feeling a bit of a stretch through that inner line of our hamstring and inner thigh. One more time, bend into that front knee to bring yourself all the way back up. I'm going to quickly turn myself so that you don't get like a total Dom booty shot. Can we keep hugging in? Bring your hands behind you. Maybe you interlace those fingers, or maybe your hands come to your back. And can we just find a bit of an extension through that upper body? We're still in our warrior two. Once you have found the lift of the chest that works for you, can you drive and melt that forward, bowing in as our humble warrior? If those hands are interlaced, you could always lift them up and back. You could always keep them on your back. You could always bring them down. We're still hugging those legs together. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Taking your breath in. Taking your breath out. One more time, breathing in. Keep bending in that knee. Can we use our hands as leverage to roll ourselves back up? I'm going to turn back so that I'm facing the way I was before. Little cheeky, sneaky moment. Release those arms. Find your warrior two. We're going to flip our front palm. Keep your front knee bent. Lengthen yourself up and back as you exalt your warrior. And then can you exalt so much that your front knee starts to straighten? Keep your front knee straight as you bring yourself all the way up. Your front toes are going to turn in so that both of your toes are facing the long edge of your mat. And then your back toes are going to turn out. So you're in your warrior two on your second side. If you're not quite sure how we got there, don't worry about it. Basically, you've switched your warrior two, so now you're facing the back of your mat. Open those arms up. Let's pause and feel this side. Hug the legs in, knees over ankle. We're super energized, still feeling that rotation-y stuff. Soft through the tops of the shoulders, taking a few breaths to just really indulge in being here. Inhaling in through your nose. Exhaling it out through your mouth. Inhaling in through your nose. Maybe exhaling through your nose. Take that right forearm this time, comes down to your right thigh. Circle the left arm so that you end up in this beautiful rotation of our side angle. Keep lengthening through the leg, through the waist, through the arm, and nothing is sinking here, yeah? Everything is hugging in, our waist is in, our energy lines are long. Take one more breath in. Top arm is an anchor to windmill ourselves up. Let's take the front leg, straighten it out. If you'd like to grab a block, you can. And as we take this shifted shape now into our triangle on our second side, not indulging too long. And again, hug those legs in, finding that inner seam or maybe even more back of your hamstring here, depending what feels more chatty to you. Taking your breath in, taking your breath out. Bend into that front knee to bring yourself all the way back up. Warrior two. Let's flip that front palm. Oh, nope, sorry, Lide. You're going to bring your hands behind your back so they can either press into your back or interlace. Lengthen your chest up in space and then bow forward and into that front leg. You could always bring your hands down towards you here, whatever feels good. Inhaling it in. And then exhaling, you're still hugging your legs in, yeah? That's what makes this extra spicy is your legs are working so hard the entire time you're here. Use your arms if you can or hands to your hips to ripple yourself all the way up back into your warrior two. Flip that front palm, lengthen yourself all the way up and back. Exalted warrior, so much so that we stretch that front leg. Can you take your hands, windmill yourself all the way down and find a plank? So we're still facing the back end of our mats. Inhale to grow nice and long here. Option to flow. Inhale, baby cobra or full up dog. And then exhale, slide back, downward dog. Take a breath in here, please. Take a breath out. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. As you inhale, can you inhale your left leg up this time? And then step your left foot through, plant left foot between your hands. You're up on your high half toe. Inhale to lift up so you're back up in that high lunge facing the back edge of your mat. If you'd like to interlace your fingers, you can as you lift your chest up in space and then burst out, find your warrior two. Is this making sense that we're kind of like turning in a circle now? Your knee is in line over your ankle. Back leg is nice and energized. Warrior two. Take your breath in. Take your breath out. So your left forearm comes to your left thigh. As you circle that arm, we're not going to spend as much time in the postures on this side. We're lengthened out into that side angle. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, bring yourself all the way up. Straighten through the front leg. Reach out through the front arm as your hips shift, but keep your ribs in as you find your triangle. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Using your arm for leverage, can you bring yourself all the way back up in space? Bend back into that front knee. Hands can interlace behind you or come to your hips. Inhale to get nice and long, and then exhale to bow down. 2 breaths here, please. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Inhale it in. As you exhale, use your arms, use your legs for leverage to pull you all the way up. Release those arms back into your warrior two. Flip your front palm. Can you exalt your warrior so you bring yourself all the way back, and then so much so that that front leg straightens. Bring yourself back so you have warrior two arms but straight legs. Hands come to your hips. Now your back foot turns so you have 2 feet facing the long edge of your mat. And we're going to circle our way back to the front. So the front foot now turns out, bending into the knee. Ta-da! Did we all make it in our little circle? Knees stacked right over that hip. Hug the legs in. Last version of this, start in your warrior two. And if you got lost, don't worry. We have our right leg forward, left leg back. Back leg is nice and straight. Front leg is nice and rooted. Here we are. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, can you come down, bringing your right forearm to your right thigh, circle that arm, nice long line here. Still hugging those legs in, still turning that top thigh out, rooted through your feet. Breathe it in one more time. Use your hands and legs to support you as you bring yourself all the way up. Stretch up through that front thigh. Shift your hips, but keep your ribs in line with you as you take your triangle. Inhaling here. It's good to challenge our brain sometimes too, yeah? So if you got a little lost, it's totally fine. Bend into your knee a little bit. Use your arm for leverage as you pull yourself all the way up. Hands can interlace or come to your low back as we lengthen ourselves up and then bow ourselves down. Humble warrior. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. Energize through your legs and arms to pull you all the way up. Release those arms. Find your warrior two. Flip the front palm, reach yourself all the way up and back. So exalted in that warrior that your front leg straightens. Bring yourself all the way up and then windmill your hands. We're back to facing the front of our mat. Step back into your plank. What a round the world journey that was. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lower down through your knees if that serves you. Inhale, little cobra or full up dog. And then exhale, slide back, downward dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale in. Exhale, side out. That was like quite the little adventure we went on our mats. Inhale it in. Exhaling it out. One more time in. Exhale it out. As you inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, walk, step, jump, however you want to make your way up to your hands. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt, bend through your knees, stick your bum back, root down in your feet, and then bring yourself up into your chair. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. If you'd like to add a little bit of extra spice here, you're going to inhale to get lower through those hips. And then exhale, lift up 1 little inch. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart so you can see my upper body, but your hands could be totally reaching, yeah? And then up. Down a little bit. Up a little bit. Down a little bit. Keep pressing into those toes. Up a little bit. One more time. Down a little bit. Up a little inch, and then maybe you lower down so much eventually you find the floor. Now we're going to come into one more last little hip thing, but I will say if you already struggle to sit upright, make sure you're boosting yourself up. So I have a little blanket here that I'm going to pop so that it's right underneath my sits bones so it tips me forward. Once I've done that, we're going to go for 2 90-degree angles. So from my front leg, right now my left leg is front. So we're going knee to hip and then knee to ankle. And then back knee is also hip to knee and then knee to ankle, yeah? And I want you to still hug in. So we're not going to dive forward. We're actually going to really like open and see what mobility we can find here. So this front leg to start, can you really feel your front knee drawing down? Now, again, of course, if you have knee stuff, like please don't ignore any knee tingliness that might pop up. We want to keep our knees safe. So as much as makes sense in your body, this front knee is pushing down. Push it down. Now keep the whole front leg energized like this. It's rooted down. It stays there. Your back leg is going to peel up. So you're going to lean back just a little bit with your hands, still keeping that opening. Keep the front leg rooted. Remember, it's like there's a weight on that front knee drawing down. You're going to start to peel your back knee up. And as you do that, watch that you don't collapse your upper body. Keep your upper body open. So now I have that peely leg, very similar to when we were in that lizard position, right? It's that same thing. But as I'm opening this thigh, I'm pushing down with my top front knee. Let's hold here for 4. Let's hold here for 3. Let's hold here for 2. Gently bring it down. Take a quick little break. Okay. If you've never done this before, this might feel a little pat your head, rub your tummy, but this is my absolute favorite thing for hip strength, hip mobility, low back stuff. This, like I practice this myself and it's done amazing things. I have low back issues and it's like wild. Okay, let's do that again. So take your hands back a little bit, but they're back so that we can lift, right? We're trying to create space through the front of our pelvis. Flexed through both of your feet. Sorry, I didn't say that before. And before you lift the back leg, so my left leg is my front leg. Your left leg, your front leg is pushing down. Like there's a hand on that thigh on that knee. So that stays down the whole time. The back thigh peels up into that same lizardy shape. It's that same feeling. It's just a little more extreme now. And you're opening and you're going to hold for 5. So this leg is trying to open. This leg is trying to root down for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it down. Take a quick little break. Inhaling in here. We're going to go again. And I want you to work so hard here. 3, that it's almost like you can't talk. 2, 1, lower it down, take a little break. One more time, press down in the front knee, back leg opens up. So if you're sitting a lot right now, 3, this is like such a fabulous one for you. 2, keep lifting up through that chest. 1, bring it down. And if we're going to get super fancy to get to the other side, can we find that support? And then we're going to try to keep the front knee. So my left knee is going to try and stay down as I start to rotate and open. So I end up in this really wide second. And then I'm slowly windmilling my way over to my second side. So taking a little pause to set up here. Ooh, that felt really good on my hip. So again, front leg 90 degrees. So we want hip to knee in line, and then knee to ankle in line. And then back leg, hip to knee, and then knee to ankle. So for me, my back shin tends to tuck in more than it should. It needs to come back out here. Again, if you already have a hard time sitting up straight, it's nice to prop yourself up because it's just going to give your pelvis that freedom that we need it to be in so that we can strengthen and mobilize. Okay, hands are going to come behind you. Same bit of business. This front knee, this front thigh is drawing down into the ground. Drill it into the ground. Keep that going there. And then as you do that, so I have knee stuff on this side. I don't go down as low. I keep it up, but I keep it hungry. I keep it hugging in. And then this back knee opens up here, and we hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it in. Take a little break. Take your inhale. As you breathe out, so find the front leg first. And again, this is a great example of on the first side, my leg was flat. On this side, I can't. I have too much stuff happening. So I'm still keeping it up. I'm still keeping it rotated, but I'm hugging it in. It's energized. It's still working. And then I add in that top leg for 5. And you're trying to pull them apart, but this front one is rooting down and this back one is rotating back. Last one, bring it in. We have 2 more. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, take that tip, energize those legs, open it up for 5, hold it strong, 4, fight more for it, 3. I learned this from one of my trainers who's a mobility coach, 1, and I was just like, this is the most amazing thing. 1 more time, breathe in, breathe it out, take it back, still opening through that chest, don't let it collapse. Hold those legs open, pull them. Can you get more range? But remember, they're hugging in. Front leg is trying to draw down, back leg is trying to draw back. Last one, and if we're feeling really super fancy, we take that leg, we find that extreme, and then make our way to our other side. If you were sitting up on something, you can take that out of the way. Let's flip onto our backs. If you feel like you would like another flow, feel free to take it. If you'd like to do just a little bit more hip opening with me with a shoulder bridge, and then we Savasana, and then we're done. It's your practice, right? So feeling your feet on the floor, just feeling the weight of your pelvis again. And so I did that guy at the end because I wanted to take some time to explain it. And I didn't want to take away from your flow practice time. But now we've done it once. Maybe we can do it again. Yeah. So feeling your feet planted, tailbone nice and heavy, take your breath in. And without rolling, can you just use your glutes to lift your hips up? We're imagining like we're hugging an invisible ball with our knees, lengthening our knees out over our toes, hugging heels to glutes, drawing ribs in, but really opening through the front of the pelvis here. Take a breath in, and then you're going to ripple and roll it down. Inhaling at the bottom, we squeeze the glutes to lift up, opening through the front of the knees, and then ripple. So you have to scoop into your low belly to roll yourself all the way down. 2 more. Squeeze the glutes to lift the hips up. Draw in to ripple all the way down. 1 more time, press into the feet, lift the hips up. Now with your hips up, can you reach your arms up to the ceiling? Take those arms all the way back behind you so that they find the floor. And can you give yourself a little wiggle? So feel like your left arm is reaching further away from you and your left thigh is reaching further away from you. And then your right arm, right thigh are trying to reach away from center. And then your left arm, left thigh, right arm, right thigh. And so they're just sort of wiggling and creating a little more space here. Do 1 more to each side. Find center, take a breath in, and then roll yourself all the way down, but keep your arms behind you. Once your pelvis finds the floor, bring those arms all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little rock side to side, a little massage across that low back. If you'd like to take a happy baby here, keep your thighs drawing in towards you. You're going to lift up through your ankles so that you're making that 90-degree angle again. Hands can grab to backs of thighs to pull in. They can grab to ankles to draw in. They can grab to pinky toes to draw in. It's just another opportunity for creating a bit of, we're actually creating a lot of tension or a lot of flexion through our hips. That's creating a bit of pressure through the front of the hip. And then when we release, it's that kind of constriction of blood flow to then allow the blood flow. Yeah. If you'd like to rock your baby, you can. Starting to make our way, energetically into a more calm space so that we can enjoy a bit of a Shavasana together. If you're flowing, making your way down onto your back, gently release that happy baby. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Maybe take those knees and allow them to drape over to the left, taking your right arm up and overhead. Just a really brief little stretch here. Take a breath in. Take that breath out. Bring your legs back through center. Another little rock if you'd like to. And then take your legs over to the right. Your left arm can reach up overhead or out in the shape of a T. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Bringing those legs back up to center. Can you hug your legs in? Nod your chin, curl up, and find yourself in a tight, 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 tight ball. And then exhale to release. Any little things you need for your Shavasana. Again, I always recommend grabbing a blanket or a pillow and just popping it underneath your top part of your shoulders up to your head. And finding your version of rest here. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting the residual energy of your practice just sort of tingle and flow around your body. Inhaling to feel the space underneath your body and exhaling to sink into it a little bit more. And if there's anything your body needs to be a little more comfortable, sliding a pillow underneath your knees or a blanket on top is always a good idea. I'm going to let you continue to Shavasana. I'm going to bring myself up to seated. You're happy to be where you are, stay there. And I will guide you through a closing of this practice if you want to finish together. However, if you're happy to stay in your Shavasana for the rest of the day, please feel no rush to get up just because we're cueing the end of class. I'm going to leave you in about a minute of silence, but please know that I'm still here. Even if you can't hear me, I am still here. Following the trail of your breath and using it to sink a little bit deeper. Taking a nice big breath wherever you are, inhaling through your nose and exhaling to sigh it out. Again, if you would like to stay for a little bit of a longer Shavasana, please feel free. If you'd like to start energizing your body, use your breath to do this, taking those inhales and exhales, maybe a movement of the jaw, maybe a little nod side to side of the head. And when you're ready, making your way over onto one side. If you're happy to keep your eyes closed, please feel free to do so. If you need to keep them open as you come up to a seat, then that's fine too. But I just ask that you bow and sort of stay in your own little world. When you're ready, bringing yourself up, maybe your eyes are closed. Again, whatever feels good for you. And seat being relative, right, to whatever it is that your body needs to feel supported. And instead of placing hands over our heart today, can we place one hand at our belly and one a little lower than our belly button, just how we started? And can we take a breath in through the nose and fill up this space, this lower pelvic bowl space. And exhale to just let that go. Our pelvis is a space of great wisdom. It's a space that holds for us. It's literally a bowl, and it holds tissue. It can hold tension. It holds ideas. It holds magic. It holds history and wisdom. And so, if we start to feel a little panicky in our hearts, a little whirlwindy in our heads, maybe we can come back down to our pelvis. Take a nice big breath in together through the nose. Exhale it out. Let's bow down to the sacred part of ourselves. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a guide for your practice, a blueprint for your practice today. We traveled all over our mats and maybe it got a little silly, but what's practice without a little bit of laughter? May you have peaceful, patient, kind hearts, peaceful, patient, kind words, and peaceful, patient, loving, kind thoughts. All of those elements in me, see all of those elements in you. And thank you so much for your time, your energy today. Have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed your